All right, today we've got a really powerful story for you. It's all about the bond between an uncle and his nephew. A relationship built on years of trust that gets tested by some serious greed. And it's a story that's going to make us ask a tough question. When someone betrays you completely, what do you choose? Revenge or justice? So, right off the bat, we get this line. This one piece of advice is basically the moral compass for the entire story. It's the code that one man, Yusuf Mamo, built his entire life on, and it's the very thing his nephew is going to have to reckon with. This right here, this is the foundation that's about to get shaken to its absolute core.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Our story kicks off in a small but very respected property dealing office. It's not fancy, but it's the product of one man's life's work. And this is the world of our two main characters, Yusuf Mamu and his nephew, Faizan.
So here are our two guys, and you can see the dynamic right away. On one side, you've got Yusuf Mamu. He's honest, he's hardworking, and he's the man who took in his nephew Faizan when his father passed away and raised him like his own son. But on the other side, there's Faizan. He's smart, he's ambitious, and he's got dreams that are way bigger than their little office. You could say one is the anchor, right? And the other is the sail, just waiting for a bigger gust of wind.
And you have to understand, for Yusuf, this business wasn't just about making deals. Its real currency was his reputation. I mean, for decades, his entire success was built on pure, simple integrity. A handshake and his word. That meant everything. That trust, that was his legacy.
But you know how these stories go. That solid foundation is about to face a major threat. A new player comes into town. A super wealthy, powerful developer named Shahbaz Khan. And when he looks at Faizan, he doesn't just see a nephew, he sees an opportunity.
And there it is, the offer that changes absolutely everything. See, Shahbaz doesn't just offer Faizan a job, he offers him the dream, a partnership, a life of luxury, everything Faizan has ever wanted. And the price? He just has to betray the one man who raised him. Shahbaz is preying directly on Faizan's biggest weakness, his ambition.
Well, after wrestling with it for a bit, that dream, it's just too tempting to resist. Faizan gives in. And it starts small, you know? He secretly starts passing over confidential info, client lists, details on deals that are about to close. The betrayal isn't just one big act. It's like a slow, creeping poison seeping into the business.
And the fallout? It happens fast, and it is devastating. Deals that were practically signed suddenly just fall apart. Clients who have been with Yusuf for years mysteriously pull out. The business that Yusuf Mamu built on a rock of integrity starts to crumble, and he has absolutely no idea why.
And here's where it just gets heartbreaking. A really worried Yusuf pulls aside the one person in the world he trusts the most, Faizan, and confides in him. He's sharing his deepest fears with the actual source of the problem, forcing Faizan to look his uncle right in the eye, knowing full well that he's the one destroying everything.
But secrets like this can only stay buried for so long. Yusuf, just unable to figure out what's happening to his life's work, starts digging for answers himself. And it isn't long before he finds the proof, the kind of proof that confirms his absolute worst fears.
So he's got the evidence, office CCTV footage, emails, the whole thing. And he confronts his nephew. But it's not some big angry accusation. It's just a single question, just heavy with sadness. He's not just asking about a business, he's asking if the son he raised is the one who did this to him. And Faizan's response? Man, it's just chilling. There's no apology, no regret, just a cold, hard excuse. He looks at his uncle's life of honest work and he doesn't see honor, he sees poverty. And just like that, he walks away from his family to join Shahbaz, leaving his uncle completely and utterly broken. So the story jumps. We fast forward 1 year. Faizan is gone. And the consequences of everyone's actions are about to come to a head, but probably not in the way that you're expecting. But here's the thing about Yusuf. His response was, well, it was unexpected. He didn't crumble. He didn't lash out. He didn't go after revenge. Instead, he quietly started a new project, getting justice. So for that whole year, while Shahbaz was expanding his crooked empire, Yusuf was methodically, patiently building his case. He gathered all the evidence, documented all the fraud, and he took Shahbaz to court. And then, a huge twist comes out in the trial. Shahbaz's final move? He had framed Faizan for all the illegal stuff, using him as a scapegoat just like he used him as an informant.
Thanks to all of Yusuf's meticulous evidence, Shahbaz Khan's entire web of lies just completely falls apart. His fraudulent empire comes crashing down around him, and he is arrested. The architect of this whole mess finally faces the music. So what about Faizan? Well, when he's faced with all the evidence and the fact that Shahbaz threw him under the bus, he confesses to everything right there in court. And because he came clean, the judge shows some surprising leniency. He gets off with a warning and a fine. He's free, but he's a changed man.
And this all leads to this incredibly powerful emotional climax. And it doesn't happen in an office or a boardroom. It happens right on the steps of the courthouse. So outside the court, a tearful Faizan goes up to his uncle, just completely bewildered. He knows his confession helped, but he also knows it was Yusuf's case against Shahbaz that really saved him from prison. He just cannot understand this act of mercy. Why?
And Yusuf gives him the answer. And this, right here, this is the heart of the entire story. He explains that he didn't do it for revenge, he did it for justice. And in his heart, even after everything, Faizan was still family. He chose principle over his own pain, forgiveness over bitterness. And so, the story comes full circle. The business is reborn, but now there's a new name on the sign, Yusuf and Faizan Associates. And right underneath it, a new motto, or maybe a renewed one, built on trust. It's a symbol of a very hard-won lesson, and maybe a second chance. And that leaves us with this final question for you to think about. After a betrayal that deep, that personal, could you make the same choice Yusuf did? Could you forgive? Could you rebuild on the ruins of broken trust? It's a tough question about the limits of forgiveness and what family truly means.